Hey, I'm Daniel Norton here in my studio in New York City, and today we're going to make some portraits with constant lights. So I have my friend Nerlande coming later, and you know, I like to use flash. You guys probably, if you watch my videos, you see me use flash a lot, and of course, natural light is great as well. But there's something special I think about shooting with constant lights. There's certain ones or certain types of light that just somehow work better for me when I'm using a constant light source. That is to say, if I'm just going to put a light in a square softbox and point it at somebody, I'm probably going to lean towards a flash. But there's certain things like focusable lights and certain types of boxes that to me just kind of work better with a constant light source. So that's what we're going to do today. There are some disadvantages, of course, to working with a constant light. The main one is power, and I show that a lot when I talk about, you know, the reasons to use flash. You know, you could take a small flash and it's generally going to be more powerful than even a big, you know, constant light that any of us would probably use. There are huge lights that light up whole streets that they use in movies, but obviously we're not going to use that in our studio. So the type of stuff we're going to use is we're going to need to work in a controlled situation so that we don't have a lot of daylight affecting it. And we're going to know that we're not going to be shooting at, you know, 3,000th of a second and stopping action when people are jumping and stuff. This is going to be a different pace, a different way of shooting, and sometimes that can be nice. So you've got a lot of options when we're talking about constant light sources. You've got your tungsten, classic tungsten lights, which for years and years were my main type of constant lights. You've got your fluorescent, which they were kind of popular for a while, but they seem to have lost popularity. And you've got your LEDs. Those are really the most common lights I think now that we're using when we're talking about constant lights, and that's what I'm going to use today. There's a few advantages to them. I will say with LEDs, it's always been this case, you mostly get what you pay for. Like you're going to find that you can find incredibly cheap LED lights online. They will typically drift in color and be missing colors. And there's all kinds of things that make them just not as pure. That doesn't mean you can't use them. You know, I use very cheap LEDs that I got for like $20 that are color changing ones on my background when I'm doing live streaming, for instance, right? So there's all different types of LEDs. But for making portraits, I like to use, you know, professional quality LEDs that are made for this type of thing. So I'm using primarily stuff from Dedolight today. I'm going to use 3 fixtures. One is the Panaura. So basically this is their LED fixture that, well, technically the Panaura is the softbox, but this LED fixture is designed to take this softbox. It's an octagon shaped box. Mine is 5 foot, there's a few different sizes, and it's very, very shallow. And this is designed to, depending on what diffusion you put on it, to create an incredibly soft light in a small space that's either very even, or if you don't put in the center diffusion, has a bit kind of a hot spot, which I like for a portrait. It makes it a little uneven. I know that seems weird. Most people are like, you want even light with a softbox, but if you're making a portrait, sometimes it's nice to have it kind of brighter, you know, around the edges or darker around the edges, you know, and kind of work with it that way. So you can do that with the Panaura basically by switching out the diffusions, and we'll see how I want to use it today. But this is going to probably be my key light. It's a big, soft light. It's powerful too. Also for a powerful light, I've got the DLED 10, which has a spherical lens like most of your dado lights. This one is going to be a hard light, right? Generally, if we're going to point it at our subject, we're going to use barn doors. Maybe we'll shape it. We could use it as a bounce. You know, there's lots of things we can do with it because, again, it's powerful. Both of these are bicolor, meaning they can go anywhere from like your tungsten range to your daylight range, which is incredibly useful if you want to mix them with things. The third light fixture from Dedolight I'm going to use is my DLED 7, which is a baby, right? It's my little one. I use it a lot. This one I often put a projector on. I do have a projector for the big one as well. But this one, I'll put a projector on a lot to throw like little splashes of texture, or I might use it, you know, to do little eye light if we're doing like a dramatic noir type feel. So I like this guy. It's small. If you're not in a big daylight studio like I am, or it's nighttime, this is probably plenty for a portrait. It's bright enough. I have to kind of overcome some light coming from outside, so I'm going to use my more powerful lights as my key light. We'll turn off the lights in the space. I'm sure I'm still going to get some daylight in here, but we'll work with that a bit. All right, so I just want to kind of go over some of the different features, right, of these lights, why I'm going to use different ones. First of all, this is like my workhorse, and this is a great light to have if you are not in a place where it's particularly bright. I say that because any constant light source, if you have to battle against the sun, it's going to be a struggle. And this is not super powerful, but if you're in a more of a conventional situation inside a house or something, or in a studio that's gotten a lot of windows, this is probably plenty powerful enough. There's a lot of accessories for this guy. You know, obviously I have barn doors on it. That's kind of your go-to accessory for hot lights, right? I find that barn doors in general don't seem to work as well with strobes. I won't say they don't work at all, but to me, they just don't work as well. Now, we can throw a softbox on this. I have a little baby softbox, which is fine. You know, you've probably seen me use that before, but again, if I'm gonna use a softbox, why not just use a flash? I've got more power and stuff. What I really like to use on this light is this guy. This is the DP1 projector. So what this is gonna let me do is, throw patterns, which is kind of the main thing that you would imagine with the projector. But what it really does is it allows you to really control where the light falls. So I can take this projector and I can really position my light. I've got the ability to make really tiny, small circles. I've got the ability to just light up certain areas. And also I've got cool things I can project that are like colors and stuff like that. So this is probably how I'm gonna use this guy. But if I just want to throw some light somewhere or as a fill or whatever, I can just use it without the projector. So it's not like you have to use the projector, but I do recommend that if you've got the desire to have a light kit like this projector is probably worth having. This is essentially the same kind of light as I just showed you, but way more powerful. So again, you've got barn doors, which is how I'm probably going to use it. I actually have a projector for this. It's the same projector that I used on my HMI. If you saw the video where I kind of created that skylight look, I'll put a link to that. Same projector, you can focus this guy in and out. You've got this, you know, Dedolight spherical lens on the front. So nice, smooth light coming out of this. Powerful, and I can change the colors. This is my hard light, right? I'm gonna use this to create separation. I'm gonna use this to kind of show detail. This is what the hard light's for. But being that we're doing a portrait, probably the light that will end up being my key light or my main light is the Panaura, right? Now I know I said, I'm gonna use a softbox, why not just use a flash, right? This is very special. Look at how thin this is. This is it just creates a different type of light. It kind of wraps around and creates this very, very even or kind of not even, and the way we're gonna use it, light, where it kind of makes the inside a bit duller so the outside gets hotter, creates a bit of a kind of a reverse vignette in a sense. This becomes less of a noticeable thing the further away the light is. So if we're going to use this light real close like we would in a portrait, this is a great way to use it. You can also pull that front diffuser out and create almost like a beauty dish-ish? Is that a word? Beauty dish-ish? A beauty dish type feel. It's not like a beauty dish. Well, I should say, it's like a beauty dish. It's not the same thing as a beauty dish. People often say, well, that's like a beauty dish. Well, not really. I mean, it's using the same kind of idea, but it's not the same. You know, a beauty dish is very specific, but this can create that kind of punchy but soft light. Okay, so Nerlande's here.
Hi.
She's got the famous blue outfit, powder blue at that. I was like, Nerlande, do you have anything that's maybe like powder blue? And she was like, oh yeah, I got a powder blue outfit. And here it is. So we were gonna shoot this the last time she was here, but in typical model fashion, we didn't get to it, so she left it here, so I was forced to have her come back. Models, this is a tip, leave stuff at the photographer's studio, then they'll probably just skip it to Goodwill. So they're not nice like me, but I'm nice and I had her come back. Anyways, we've got this nice, I would say I wanted to shoot with a constant light source because I think it's just really a different feeling when you do it. And also, like I talked about earlier, I really love this Panaura. It's got this very kind of interesting feel to it. It's really big, of course, right? So it's just gonna wrap around. But it also is, especially with the diffusers I'm using, it's got this kind of dead spot in the center. It kind of wraps around, creating a light that's, I don't want to say it's uneven. I mean, if I were to meter it, it's probably pretty even, but it just has this little bit of grittiness to it that I really like in a soft light. And we can do anything with this. Like right now, it's basically to the side of her, which is not normally how I would light a female subject, but it just looks beautiful, right? That's the other advantage is if you're like me and you're making videos, then your constant light can light you as well. So tips out there for you guys doing that. But yeah, so it's already more or less in place, but I'll just show you that we've got it set up, right? This is a dual color, It's not a dual, it's a bicolor light. So I can go tungsten to daylight. I can set my color temperature essentially. So what I'm gonna do is, because people always ask me white balances, I'm gonna set my light, which I have it at 5,000 Kelvin now, and I'm gonna set my camera to 5,000 in capture one, right? And then we're gonna shoot and that should give us the proper white balance. So let's do that first. So I'm gonna come over here. I'm in capture one. My camera settings, we can see that I'm already set Kelvin right there. And I'm just gonna come in. Usually you wanna get good skin tone, right? So we're just gonna come in relatively close for the first shot. And we'll take one and just see what we get. Yep, that looks like you. Okay, at this point you just collect your money and you go home. No, but this is good skin tone. Now this is neutral, right? You wanna start off neutral, and then if you want to warm it up, let's say, because it's a portrait, we can do that. We can just kind of come into our settings over here. Remember, the capture one will apply these settings automatically to our next image if we desire. So I can come over, let's say I want it to be a little bit warm, because I like it to be a little bit warm. Right, and then there we go. Now you could, obviously, this is making a global change to the image, because I'm changing the white balance in the camera, essentially, or in Capture One. If I just wanted this light to be warm, let's say, and then not the entire scene, I could make this light warmer, and I'll show you how to do that as well. Because I'm just like that. I'm that kind of person that does that kind of thing. So let's go back to where we were. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna come over here, and we're gonna come over here to the color here, and I'm gonna actually make my light a little bit warmer. We'll make it, let's say, 4,500. Now what's gonna happen is, it's going to, of course, warm up like we just did, right? And now we've got a nice warm shot. And what this means is, if I introduce other lights to our situation that are set at a different color temperature, we'll actually get some contrast there. So if I use a clean, let's say a 5,000 Kelvin light on the background, which is what I'm gonna do now, it'll actually come a little bit cool. You know, she's got a blue outfit on, so we're playing with these contrasting colors. And we're just gonna do this. Now guys, I could have just taken a really good shot at the beginning of this, but if you don't take enough time, then they don't wanna pay for the shoot. So this is really what it comes down to. You wouldn't wanna just walk in and have, you know, right? She has to feel like I'm working it.
You're working it.
There we go. All right, now we're not blown out. It's on the cool side. Nerlande looks great as always, putting up with me. But let's position our light a little bit different now. Even though it looks fine in split lighting, as we would call it, I'm gonna actually bring it around a bit to the front. The police are coming. I hope that's not from me. At least not until we get the video. It's not. I mean, I don't think it is anyway. I mean, it could be. All right. I'm just looking. Nice. Yeah, there we go. She's giving me that look like the police better not come before we're done. This is good. I don't like where that slash is. I'm gonna bring it a little bit down. And again, this is all just tweaking. You can do a few different things with the slash here. This is with the barn doors, of course. I can bring it down, and I'm gonna kind of make it more dramatic. Now this slash is actually coming from the opposite side of my key light. You can, which is gonna create kind of like a bit of a contrast. If you want it to feel more kind of natural, you can have it come from the same side, but there ain't nothing natural about this. I mean, maybe it's a little bit natural. Are you a natural woman?
Wow.
You make me feel. All right, so, sorry, I'm gonna start singing for you all. Charge extra for that. Okay, there we go. There we go. There she is. That's the perfect slash. If you've ever wanted to know, the beauty of this is that she has freedom to move around, so you can move as you like. Oh yeah, there she is. Gonna, oh, look at me. That's right, there she is. She's working it. She's like, oh, look at that, I can move around. I'm moving around. There we go. This camera is very quiet.
Right?
It is, right? I think I might have it on super silent mode. I guess so you don't scare the bugs when you're shooting macro photography. Am I though? Oh yeah? I like it. Let's come in for a couple close ones. I'm gonna zoom a little bit. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, I was crooked. Hold on. Let me not be crooked. Good. That's it. Good. Beautiful. Just like that. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, ooh. Like that. Let's do that, but I'm good. Okay, so I like the shadow there. We'll get more shadow if I go like this. Let's work the body.
Yeah.
No, away from the light. There we go. There it is. There it is. Yeah, that should be good. Oh yeah, see how we're getting that nice shadow? Work the, there we go. With the body and then the face. That's it. She's like, I know what to do. Don't tell me what to do. Don't you tell me what to do. No, oh, see, there's, all right, good. Nice, one more. There, that was it. Yep.
I like that.
I like that one. Was that a good one? All right. Yeah, that's pretty nice, right? All that for that. Simple. I was gonna throw some funky color on the background, but I think what happened here was I shot too quickly. Let me take one more like that.
I can't do it again.
She's gonna have to do it again, isn't she? That's what used to happen all the time with the Polaroid. You shoot the perfect Polaroid and then like you can never get that shot again. That's it. Good. That's it. There we go. Good. 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 Oop, double tap. Go right there. That was it. See, I knew it. You could do it again. I knew you could do it again. It only took 75 shots. There we go. That's that angle right there is what I like. You know what I'm thinking though? You know what I'm thinking? Let's put some color on the background. Because you know what happened? I set up this other light, and whenever you set up a light, you have to use it. That's part of the requirements as a photographer. It's like, if you turn on a light, you gotta use it. So this is actually the smaller Dedolight. I'm gonna put the projector on this guy. Like, Daniel, how come you weren't ready with this already? I don't know. Because I put it away for some reason, even though I had it out earlier. Okay, so I've got, I think we've used these ones before. What do you think? Blue, purple, or red?
Blue.
Blue. You can't see anything because it's dark. Okay. If I had a flashlight or something, I could, oh, hold on.
Change my mind.
Red. Is that working? Yeah, you can see it, right? Does it look blue? All right, look at that. Doesn't look blue to your eye though, does it? I don't know, it's weird. It only looks blue once the light goes through it. Yeah, it's Decoric. Decoric, is that how you say it? Somebody will tell me how I'm saying it wrong. All right, so there's a little blue circle on the wall. You can see actually how much less powerful this light is, plus I got that on there. But what's cool about this is we can turn it into, oh, look at that. We used these ones before, remember that? Yeah. That is actually some kind of amoeba or something. It's not an amoeba. Clearly I know nothing about biology. Right. Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I like the color, I don't like how focused it is. So, oh, you know what? Don't look right at it. I'm gonna shine it right on you. This is the part that gets cut out and it'll be like a blooper reel like next year. Where I'm gonna shine this light directly on you. Yeah. Yes. Oh, it's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Come on. Yeah. Oh, hey, come here. Come on. I was waiting for it. Oh, okay. Right there. Oh, too much. Right there. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Do you like this? The other way. Yeah, there we go. So I can get it on. Get more of it. There we go. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, this is nice. Ooh. Coming closer. Get a little closer. Ooh, and what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go warm on this one for contrast. Oh, no, 2600. And then I'm just gonna eyeball it. We're keeping it nice and dark back there. Just a little bit of fill. Maybe a little bit more. Just a little bit more. That's 10. Oh, yeah. Ooh, okay, but just keep more open. Yeah. There we go. That's it. Good. One more. That's it. Ooh. I like it. I'm gonna crop it, I think, right here. So I'm gonna crop it a bit, guys, because I think that this feels like it'd read better like that. Yeah, right? It's always important to chop off the top of somebody's head when you're doing these kind of shots. Never, ever, ever show the... Okay, do one more. Oh, you know what's interesting? Here, hold on. Just because I like to push things. I'm gonna take my light here and I'm gonna actually, because right now it's set at, it was set at about 5600. I'm just gonna go all the way to 6800 just see if I can get a little bit more blue out of it. You could say that we're gonna blue it up. No, that does not, no, okay, I tried. All right. Okay. That's where the right. Now we found out where right. We knew where there was a line somewhere, and now we found it. That's it. Good. Una más. That's me speaking Spanish. Good. Nice. Last one. Good. Oh yeah, I love it. Oh, I like this. It's so interesting and weird. Maybe I should make it black and white. No. Hey, look at that blue on you, though. That's very cool. All right, that's pretty good, right? Not bad, guys. Let me turn this light back on so we can see what we're doing. Whoa, now Dave's like, what did you just do? Oh, it's super warm though. It's like, oh, end of the day. No, let's go back to wipe. Okay. Whew. I'm feeling better about myself now. And I'm feeling better about Nerlande. So, no, I'm not. I'm not feeling better. So here's the thing, right? You may have noticed like how loose and fluid this is, and I think that's one of the benefits of working with constant light sources, especially if you're new to lighting. Granted, if you've been doing it a long time, you know your flashes really well, you can change stuff up really quickly. With this, we could really see it, right? And I think that's important. So if you are kind of learning and struggling, maybe picking up a couple of constant lights to work with could be fun. Also, things like this projector, you're not gonna be able to see where it's falling with the flash very easily without taking shots. So there's definitely advantages to that. The model can actually feel the light on them. They can see where it is. You're so serious back there. So they can see where it is and work within it. I think that really helps in that sense. What do you think about that?
I was zoning out.
She was totally not paying attention to me ever. This is what she does. You know why she's zoning out? It's because she wants to look at the pictures. She's hungry. All right, we'd never ever feed the models. All right, but you have to look at the pictures first. It's part of the video. Are you willing to do that? Mm-hmm. She's willing to do it. Let's take a look. Nerlande's going to look at the pictures and tell me what she really thinks. Although, if she wants to eat, she's.
This is what it costs.
This is what it costs. Okay. All right. So seriously, though,
No,
what do you think? Yeah. What do you like?
Blue, well, duh.
The blue's cool, right?
That I chose.
Yeah. She did choose the blue, baby blue, powder blue. It's not baby blue.
Not powder blue
Yeah.
anymore.
No, that's like super saturated blue. Yeah, I think one thing too that's nice is to play with when you're dealing with this kind of stuff is to really deal with like, don't be afraid of things going like too dark and too shadowy. Just kind of watch the contrast and see how you can build a cool shot out of it. You know, sometimes there doesn't need to be detail everywhere in a shot.
Bedroom blue.
Bedroom blue. My bedroom is not blue. It's yellow.
Bedroom's yellow?
Well, it's not yellow. It's like a warm, like a warm white. What do you think? You know, Nerlande is a decorator. Well, what's a good color for a bedroom?
Gray.
Gray.
What? That's the color of my bedroom. It's sexy.
No, I'm sure gray is excellent.
I gotta take this abuse. I love you.
Yeah, it's cool. You're all right. We'll bring you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's see if we get some cream cheese on that thing. Okay, so we're gonna feed Nerlande, but you guys should subscribe to Adorama TV and ring the bell so you get the notifications. Also, I will put her information in the description. You guys can follow her to see if she, is doing all right with food and whatnot. You follow me, Daniel Norton Photographer, and I'll see you next time on set.
If you like this video and you want to see more, click here. Make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell. Thanks for watching.